We are back with part 2 of 5 mistakes every music producer should avoid and some tips for improvement. Some of these are personal things I've encountered with my own productions and my own music career, so I thought I'd share them with you. Let's get it. First up, layering sounds without intention. And what I mean by that is it's really easy to stack and stack and stack sounds to make a melody bigger so it stands out in the mix. The issue becomes when you have so many layers that you can't even hear the one you started with. I'm a big believer in when you find the right sound, it will cut through and you won't have to layer more and more. It's important to choose sounds that complement each other. You don't want to layer sounds that are too similar or clash. Instead, look for sounds that fill different frequency ranges and have different textures. For example, if you have a synth lead that occupies a lot of space in the higher frequencies like this, consider layering it with a lower frequency sound like a bass or kick drum like this. This will create a fuller or more dynamic sound without adding unnecessary clutter. Just to be clear, layering sounds will add depth and complexity to your tracks, but it's important to do it in a way that maintains clarity and balance. Whether it's to get feedback on your tracks, to work on music with others, or to do some cross-promotion, collaborating with other artists, producers, companies, and creators is a key aspect to growing your skills and your presence within the music industry. One primary advantage of collaborating is the opportunity to receive feedback on your tracks. By working with others who have different perspectives, you can understand how they perceive your music and identify areas for improvement that you may not have noticed on your own. Collaboration also provides an opportunity to work on music with others, which can lead to new creative ideas and a fresh outlook on your own sound. When you combine your skills with those of another artist or producer, you can create something truly unique that neither of you could have created on your own. Cross-promotion is another benefit of collaborating with others. By working with other musicians or creators who have a similar fan base or following, you can tap into their audience and they can tap into yours to reach new listeners. This can help you expand your own audience and build your presence within the music industry. Overall, there are lots of benefits to collaborating, and yeah, sometimes it's really easy to stay in our own lane, but by branching out, this will help you develop new skills, learn new techniques, and improve your overall creativity. All right, your track is done. You're ready to send it off to the mixing engineer to get everything locked in for mastering, or you're gonna have your friend remix it. Let's talk about bouncing stems. Unfortunately, there isn't a universal naming convention for stems, but here are a few ideas on how to label your stems so your mixing engineer won't have a headache trying to organize the tracks in their session. I like to use this method for most song stems. First the group name, then the sound name, and then the version. So for instance, drums, that would be my group, kick, that would be the sound, and V1, which would be the version. I think this is important, especially if you're going to have multiple edits on a song. Another idea is drums, hi-hat, and V2. Some other examples might be synth, bright lead, that's what I would name my synth, the bright lead, and V1. You could also do keys, low organ, V1, and here's another one, bass, which is the group, distorted 808, which is the sound, and V1. I prefer to use underscores to separate the attributes of each title. Again, this is just one method. Some people like to put the date or artist name in there as well. One thing to add here, it's good practice to title the folder that contains the stems with the key of the song, the BPM, and the track title. Bonus tip, if you're using a Mac and you need to add or remove text to all your files, you can select them all, right-click, and hit rename. For instance, Logic bounces all the stems with an _1, which drives me insane. I can use this drop-down menu to add or replace text. For this, I will leave it on replace, type _1 in the find box, then leave the replace with box empty and it will remove the _1 from all the files. You could also add V1 to all your stems with this method. This one is important and it's not using reference tracks. This is not a necessity and by no means do you have to do this, but I like to use a reference track for multiple things. The first, creative guidance. Sometimes I want to have a certain feel or vibe in a song, but I'm unsure how to achieve the right energy. By placing a reference track in your session, you can quickly A/B with your track to see what you might be missing. Use it to find inspiration to maybe flip your drum groove or filter the synths for a bar. The second, mixing. Using another track can be super discouraging when starting to mix because, well, let's face it, it's finished. It's loud, dynamic, it's wide, and it sounds good. Then you flip back to your track and you realize you have a ton of work to do. Bring the volume down at a reference to match your overall level. Then listen. Where are your hi-hats in the mix? Turn your speakers down. What do you hear? Is the snare too loud? Flip to mono. Where's the bass sitting? Using a reference or multiple references is a great way to get a foundation and have an idea on how to properly balance your mix. One cool thing you can do is use the latest tool from Isotope, Audio Lens. It listens to any song and creates a profile that you can use within Ozone 10 and Neutron 4 for mixing and mastering. This is perfect for getting that guitar tone that you heard on the radio or the vocal presence that professional mixing engineers create. The takeaway from this is to use reference tracks as inspiration, education, and guidance while maintaining the freedom of creativity. I do it, you do it, we all do it. We get into a routine of music making and it's hard to step out of our comfort zone. We have our go-to drums, the synths that we know exactly how to tweak, and the 808 that slaps on every system. The issue here is there's not much room for growth. And growth is one of the most important aspects of producing music. As hard as it is to break away from our habits, the truth is music production techniques are constantly changing. New tools are being created and new workflows are being discovered. Here are a few ideas on how you can evolve as a music producer. One easy way to break the go-to habit is by using Complete Control to browse sounds. It's honestly one of my favorite ways to find new plugins because you can quickly search for anything you want in the browser and it looks through any NKS plugins. Then you can highlight the preset name and it gives you a little preview before you even load it in. You can also use the attributes to find exactly what you're looking for. This is one of the best ways to try something new without even knowing it. The next tip is to explore other genres. You can start by trying subgenres of music you already create. For instance, if you make modern hip-hop, try making some boom bap or lo-fi. This can help switch up those drum grooves and the overall track structure. You can also try playing with faster, slower tempos and writing in different key signatures. Another one, take some time to learn shortcuts within your DAW. From simple key commands to newly introduced tools, most people learn what they need to produce and never take the time to understand the more complex features. Deep diving on some of these shortcuts will not only speed up your workflow, but will also improve your overall skills and how you might approach a song. And if you're feeling limited in the DAW you currently use, branch out and try another one. I think this tip is crucial and it's to listen. Listen to new music, old music, and everything in between. Pay attention to what instruments are being used, how the song was arranged, what effects are being modulated, and ask questions as to why they may have produced the song this way. Then, take that information and apply it to your song and see what happens. These are just a few ways to grow and become a better producer. Pay attention to what's out there, what's being created, and the latest industry tools, and you'll evolve within your own creativity and the industry. And that's another 5 mistakes every music producer should avoid. If you didn't catch the first video, be sure to check it out on the Native Instruments channel. Let us know in the comments what you think about these tips, and we'll see you next time.